Well, tonight's episode of Below Deck Mediterranean was juicy as an onion. Mo money, mo problems. How about mo onions, mo problems tonight? Let's chat about it, guys.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
You know ain't nothing changed but my limp.
Hey.
Can't stop till I see my name on the blimp. Guarantee me and shells.
Oh, man. Well, I thought we were going to lose all of our mo money here on Below Deck Mediterranean tonight because of Chef Adam and his crazy onions. What the heck, guys, is going on this boat? Hi, I'm your host, Laura L. Thomas. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Laura L. Thomas TV, and I've got a gorgeous co-host with me tonight.
Hi, I'm Jamie Banks, and you can find me at JamieBanks_.
She has been traveling the world, so we're super happy to have her back tonight. We're missing our girl Paulina, though, so she should be back with us next week. Jamie, what is going down on this boat?
I don't know what's with the onions.
What is with the onions, guys? Adam, I know we had you in here earlier, and I'm just going to jump right in and say it. Why? Why? I want to ask him. I wish he was here now because I want to ask him if it was worth it. And I got the sense towards the end that it wasn't worth it. But yeah, we're going to call the past two episodes Onion Gate because there was a lot of drama surrounding onions. Who knew an onion would be so controversial?
I know. I think it was a pride thing because I don't think it was actually about the onions. But I think part of it is he wants to make this great food. And so he doesn't want to make bad food. So it's a pride thing, but he also doesn't want to be wrong. So I don't know.
Sure, I understand wanting to make food that tastes great, but again, if you've got a prep sheet, you gotta stick to it. We're gonna get more into that later, but I do want to chat really quickly, just to jump in on this episode. Oh, also, I want to remind you guys that we are on the live chat right now. We are on our YouTube page, so hop online, find us there, and ask the questions or comments or share what you think is going down, because we'd love to hear it. So let's talk about the guests for a minute. I did a little research on these guests after last week's episode. I thought they were really intriguing, and I wanted to get to know them a little bit more. So we've got Kenny and Amberly from Oklahoma. My biggest question was I wanted to know what he did to be able to afford such a luxurious vacation.
Yeah,
and
I guess oil industry?
Well, he has a consulting firm, actually. He owns a consulting firm out of Oklahoma, and in 2009 it was the fastest growing company in the city, and then in 2012 it was the fourth fastest growing inner city business in the U.S. as named by Forbes magazine. So I thought that was super cool, and really also the thing that I loved the most about them is their down to earth kind of nature. They seem like a really fun group. What was your impression of the guests?
They're fun. They're definitely rowdy, but they seem like they're nice people. And I know all the guests, all the crew from last season, love them.
Absolutely.
So I think I see why.
I feel like I can connect to these guys because they're, I guess Oklahoma is still considered the South, and I'm a Nashville girl, so I feel like I can relate to their vibe. They're sort of Southern, down home, good old time, like party vibes. So I think that's why I really like them. One other really cool statistic that I read online about them was that his goal in 2009 that he wanted to be a $40 million company within the next 3 to 4 years. So I'm curious if he attained that goal. So
Wow.
Kenny, if you're on Twitter or Instagram, social media, let us know. We'd love to know.
They must be doing well if they can afford the yacht. So
I know. Well, and if you're going to pay that much money, then you should get everything that you want.
and no onions.
No onions. No onions at all. No onions at all. So let's quickly chat about some of the other guests that came along on this charter. We saw Grandpa Greg, who Hannah and Lauren, I think, found asleep.
Malia, I think.
Hannah and Malia found asleep on the toilet. Have you ever been caught in an embarrassing situation kind of like that?
Never asleep on the toilet. No. How about you?
Oh, I'm sure in college. If I'm being honest, I'm sure there's been a time or two where I've been a little bit inebriated. I don't know, but no, I can't remember a time that I've been caught in quite that embarrassing situation, but I really thought it was adorable how they handled it.
Yeah, and he was on TV, so it makes it a little bit more embarrassing.
Oh, his friends are never going to let him live that down.
No.
For sure. And now the whole nation has seen it. So, hey, maybe it's a calling card, right? Maybe it's a calling card. I go hard until I go asleep. And then also what was really cool about them is that they brought the game, the wars that they wanted to have against the crew. So they did the guests versus the crew, and they brought out all the water toys, and it was sort of an obstacle course.
Yeah, that was fun. I've never seen guests do that before. No. I wouldn't be very good. I'm not that strong of a swimmer, so.
No? What would your forte be in an obstacle war?
If we were on land, I would be good, but sea, not so much.
Yeah, I saw. So I think they had a couple of different things that they had to do. They had to run upstairs holding an egg in their mouth on a spoon, and they had to jump off the deck and swim around and
something about hot dogs.
Oh, eat a hot dog. I heard that was I saw that was very controversial. Nobody really wanted to finish the hot dogs, which is understandable. I can understand that. I'm not a huge fan of a hot dog. How about you?
Definitely not if you had to eat it that quickly.
Oh, no, not at all. So, yeah, can you imagine scarfing down like
No, that sounds terrible.
A hot dog? It's probably wet from like all the running and swimming. Ugh. Anyway, so I was really impressed though. They called it a tie, which I think was a smart thing to do. I think Lauren thought that they won, which maybe they did, but I saw two people sliding down the slide at the same time, so it looked like it was a tie.
Yeah, you definitely don't want them to lose because you want that tip at the end of the week.
Exactly. I would have maybe like stuck my leg out or something and tripped one of my teammates, be like, don't lose our tip. Yeah, they seem like a super rowdy bunch. I really enjoyed getting to know them on these past 2 episodes, and so it looks like in our predictions we have some more fun guests coming up, but we'll get to that later. Also, I was going to ask you, what did you think of the attire that the guests wore during the competition? What did you think of the wolf Speedo? And
it was funny. They're a funny group, that's for sure.
It looked like they came to play, for sure. So that was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed. All right. Off the guests, on to Adam, because we got to talk about it. Adam, you're our guy. We loved having you here. We had a great time with you. I thought that you were a really super cool guy until I saw these past 2 episodes, and then I just wanted to smack you. So long story short, Adam keeps putting onions in the food, and the guest's food. He mashes them up, he grates them, he cuts them really thin. I mean, he finds way to sneak these onions into the food, and I just think, like you said, it's a bit more of a pride thing than anything. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I feel like I could understand the first night him putting it in just to kind of test the waters, but when the guests sent it back, it's kind of rude at that point to continue to put the onions in the dishes. And he's such a great chef. I feel like I'm sure there's a substitute that he could put in to make it still delicious.
Yeah.
Or even if he really wanted the onions in, he could have given it to all the other guests and then took it out of Kenny's.
Absolutely. But that, I mean, even that step, that would be so much more work for him to make two dishes.
Yeah.
Why not just make one dish really well that does not have onions in it?
Yeah, and I feel like there's plenty of good food out there that doesn't have onions. I mean, I'm not a chef, but I feel like it's not that common to have onions in every dish, right?
Right. I mean, I can name a ton without onions in them. And I understand a soup, if a soup is one of those things that is going to be better with flavor with an onion, then don't make a soup.
Yeah.
Pick something else. It's as easy as that. So I wonder why it wasn't as easy as that for Adam, though.
I think because he was he wanted to be right, and I think he sort of wanted to say, haha, I'm gonna put onions in anyway, but not in a mean way, but just kind of like, I'm the chef, so I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah.
People are paying me, so I'm gonna make the best food possible with onions.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I do agree. I mean, I think he was just finding ways to sneak it in. And I think it also was one of those things, too, where he's like, ooh, if I sneak it in, they won't notice. And then they're going to like onions. And,
Well, remember he did that with the first starter guest. He used butter, I think. They actually had a lot more preferences than Kenny. So I don't know. And he was able to adjust his recipes.
Right.
So I don't know why he won't just give up the onions.
Yeah, I think it's just a pride thing. I think it's a need to be right. I think it's also he's having this contention right now with Hannah.
Yeah.
And that is playing into it as well. I think he is kind of maybe feeling a little bit under thumb. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he's feeling a little squashed.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you start to feel a little repressed or not as free as you want to feel, you start to rebel.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we might be seeing in a little bit of Adam.
Yeah, but it's weird because the whole Hannah thing, I don't feel like she's not the one that didn't want the onions. So it's kind of like he's taking out his issues with Hannah on Kenny.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you feel about what's going on between him and Hannah? Do you think that he overstepped his boundaries by...
I think it's a little awkward, and I think especially, even if he did have his personal opinion about her, I don't feel like he had to express it, at least like to her face on the show,
Right.
So I don't know why he didn't just keep that to himself.
Yeah, and how do you feel about him calling out and saying that maybe Bugs should be chief stew?
Yeah, I mean, even if he thought that, why say that in front of both of them? Even if he wanted to tell Bugs that separately, that would be kind of weird, but that'd be better than telling all three of them at the same time, because they all have to work together.
Exactly, and it's only going to cause problems with Hannah and Bugs, which of course we see later on in the episode. I think Adam is just stirring the pot. Honestly, I mean, he's stirring the pot with Malia. He's stirring the pot with the guests. He's stirring the pot with Hannah and Bugs. He's kind of he is. Wes called him out later in the episode as a bad boy. He's really coming across as the bad boy this season. I thought Bobby had that locked down, but Adam is like butting him out of the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is definitely interesting. He seems like a nice guy, though, especially when we met him. He seems really genuine and sweet. So I think maybe, I don't know if he's a bad boy, but he is kind of mischievous and testing his boundaries a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I know you had a little crush on Adam before the season
I have a crush on
started.
them all. They're all gorgeous.
Of course. They're all perfect eye candy.
Definitely.
Have you ever dated a bad boy? In the past?
Not really, no. Have you?
Oh, yeah, plenty. Yeah, but I settled for a good guy.
Okay,
so,
good.
Yeah,
Good.
My man's a good man.
Now I'm crushing on Wes, too. I mean, he's so sweet.
Oh, my goodness. I love him. I really do, and I really grew to respect him way more in this episode with how he's handling the Malia situation.
Yeah, I actually kind of do feel bad for him a little bit, just because I feel like when he first kissed Malia, he didn't know that she was going to kiss all these other people, which is, to each their own. That's totally fine.
Sure.
But Adam kind of knew that he was sort of in a rivalry with Wes at that point, and so he kind of knew what he was getting into. But Wes, I feel like he's more innocent in the sense.
Well, his intentions were pure.
Right.
He's very pure-hearted. He's very hardworking. He's kind and generous, and his intentions in that moment, because he was the first to kiss her, were very sweet and romantic.
Yeah.
And I feel like Adam's going behind and doing, again, sloppy seconds is what I called it last week, because that's what I think it is. But Adam going and doing sloppy seconds, to me, it's just like a snake in the grass. He started a war at that point. He started a war with that kiss.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Wes, too, because I know he didn't want to kiss her because he didn't want to kind of ruin the friendship and the working relationship. And someone mentioned that he hadn't kissed anyone in 4.5 years on the boat.
Right.
So since it makes it so much bigger of a deal than if, he's kissing someone at recharter, so.
Yeah, which is, and so does this change your opinion of who you think Malia is going to end up with by seeing this episode?
Kind of, yeah. This episode, it seems like she's going to end up with Adam to me.
Yeah.
And I felt like, didn't I feel like it was going to be the opposite? I think I thought she was going to hook up with Adam first, but then go for Wes. But now I'm thinking it's the opposite.
And do you think that if Malia had kissed Adam first, if Adam had come first, Wes would have never kissed her?
Definitely, yeah. He seems like he wouldn't go for it,
Yeah. That is the exact reason why I like Wes over Adam in this situation.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, Adam started a war, whereas Wes had a really pure heart in taking the moment.
And when Bugsy was telling Wes that he should go for it, I just felt so bad, because cut to Adam and Malia kissing, it was like, oh no.
Yeah, I know.
Because it takes courage to actually pursue someone that you like. It's not easy.
Well, and speaking of courage, she kind of pulled her off when they went to the waterfalls, which were gorgeous,
so
by
pretty.
the way. Oh my gosh, that is like a dream destination to go to. But Adam did pull Malia aside and managed to sneak a little kiss then too. do.
Which I couldn't really see because I kind of heard it on the mic, but
Yeah.
it was sort of covered by trees. I wonder if that was intentional.
May have been. May have been actually pretty well played, but I don't think that that's Adam's style.
No, and then he said that was nice, so it wasn't like he was covering it up.
No, I don't think that's Adam's style. I think Adam
Yeah.
wants the whole world to know that he is kissing Malia. Yeah, and so he stole a little moment with her, and then later we see Wes steal a moment with her as well. And I do think that before she went out and had this moment with Wes, she had a little chat with Max on the boat, and he was chatting about, well, okay, how was the vibe with Adam today, and what's going on, and what's the deal with Wes? And she said at that point, oh, Wes and I are just pals.
Yeah, but then I feel like she's referring to all the guys as her pals.
Right.
So I don't know if she just wants to have fun and they're all her friends and maybe she'll make out with them when she's drunk, or if she's friend zoning him.
Yeah, it seems to me like she's feeling it out still. Mm-hmm. But then we get Bobby in the mix.
Yeah.
Now we get Bobby.
Everybody likes her, all the single guys.
So does that make you? Does that change your opinion of Malia?
No, because I don't feel like it's her fault. But I do want to mention that sometimes the psychology, if everyone's going for the same girl, sometimes it makes the girl more attractive. And I think Malia is very attractive, so I don't mean she's unattractive. But like, on The Bachelor, all the guys go for the same girl, and it makes
totally.
them all want to win more. So I think there is some psychology going on, but of course she's gorgeous and athletic and amazing. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, I do think she did say that. She made the point about, hey, I just want to be friends with these guys. I want to work with these guys. And now all of a sudden I can't because, they think you're pretty.
Yeah.
And that presents a challenge.
Yeah, but I think it's one thing if they think you're pretty, and then another if you've kissed all your friends too.
Well, exactly. And that's where I feel like the line was crossed. And that's where I think she did not take the responsibility that she could of owning the situation and kind of, Paulina and I talked about this last week, and Paulina feels like she's just living in the moment. She's,
She's having fun.
and, living her life and all of that. And I'm like, yeah, a little bit, but you're also causing a lot of drama.
I think she's having fun, and I think, it's fine that she's kissing all these guys, but she should realize that it will cause drama, and also it's going to be a little bit awkward if they're all fighting over you.
Yeah. So do we think, she did say that Bobby was her type? Somebody that is...
But maybe they're all her type.
They're all so different, though.
Very true. Maybe, do you think Bobby would be her type over the other two in normal life?
Maybe. I don't know. To me, she seems very equally matched right now with Adam.
Yeah.
I think she likes a little bit of the bad boy. I think honestly, if she could take like Wes's sweetness, like Bobby's physique, and like Adam's bad boyness, and like make her perfect man, she would probably be like, poof,
and
magic.
I think Adam is being sweet too. He's giving her this free food and all this. So I think she thinks he's a really great catch, and he is.
So how do we feel about Adam sneaking food to Malia?
I think it's cute.
Yeah?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think it bugs me a little bit. Because I think, he's the chef, and he's doing it in front of the other crew members, which I thought was really kind of tacky. I think there's a time and a place for it, and I don't know that he's not giving it to her in the right times, because obviously we just see what is on the show and what's edited, but I think it's a little bit tacky.
When are they supposed to eat? They have their breaks, correct?
Yeah, I think it looks like they eat in shifts.
Okay.
Apparently, I think I saw Wes tonight say, oh, is Max done? Or have you eaten Bobby? All right, swap out with Max, and you can go in and have dinner now. So I think it's kind of there's a general time, and then it's a small galley too. It's a small dining room, so they all can't be in there at once. But I don't know. This Malia situation with all three of these men, we're just going to have to see. Well, we got to chat about the end of the episode as well, but we'll get to that. So we did have, we had the guests leave the boat, and I think charter guest, primary guest Kenny put Adam in his place and even made the recommendation. Before we even get to that, though, Adam lied straight up to Sandy's face about the onions. I know we talked about the onions a little bit, but I don't want it to focus so much on the onions as I do the lying to the captain. That to me was the biggest red flag I have seen out of really any of the crew all season. Totally overstepped his boundaries, totally unprofessional, completely irresponsible as a crew member. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit odd that he lied when it's on TV, and also when he was going to fess up to it like the next day anyway.
And didn't he lie in front of Hannah?
I can't remember if Hannah was there.
I don't think she knew at that point that the soup had onions in it.
I mean, I can understand telling a little white lie if it's gonna cover your job's sake so you don't get fired, but since it came out anyway, it was kind of, you probably should have just been honest in the first place.
Is this a little white lie?
True.
I think this is a much bigger lie than just, oh yeah, I served dinner at 8 o'clock and not 8:30 or whatever. You know,
True.
I mean, to me that's a white lie. Or, you know, oh, I don't know. Everybody was, I don't know what a little white lie would be, but to me this is a big lie.
True. And especially because the guests are who you're supposed to cater to, and that's the whole reason that you're having the charter in the first place.
Absolutely.
So it is a big deal.
So then we have Sandy at the very end. The guests are leaving, and Kenny makes his recommendations to Sandy and says, you know, I think the place that we could really improve on this boat is in
That was
the
so
kitchen.
awkward because it was in front of everyone. It wasn't just in front of Sandy. It was awkward.
I think so. I think it was awkward, but I think it was warranted.
It was yeah. And then he praises Hannah, which it kind of just throws fuel in the fire between their tension.
Absolutely. But I think Adam needed to feel this a little bit. All of a sudden, the whole crew feels their tip is being jeopardized because he's being an idiot.
Yeah.
And I think he needed to feel a little called out. I think he needed to feel a little put in his place. I'm happy that it was the guest that did it because I think he saw the severity of the situation and really how the guest was feeling about the situation. And then also to do it in front of your fellow crewmates and your captain.
Yeah.
Like, that's gotta make you feel real small.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why he was so upset later, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Sure.
But I was surprised that Captain Sandy gave him the tip. I thought she would hold it back.
Girl, when she handed him that tip, I was about to go through the roof.
Yeah.
Because I thought for sure she would not give him his tip for that.
Or at least half of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he earned it. I don't think he earned the tip on this charter, and therefore I think she would have been warranted to hold it back. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it would have taught him a lesson a little bit, but I guess he already kind of learned because he was called out in front of everyone.
Yeah, and then when she brought him up for a private meeting too, I just felt like it was just a little bit of a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, but I guess she seems like she's firm and smart, so I don't think she wants to annoy him too much because then he might even rebel even more. And like she said, you can't really replace him halfway through the season.
Right, which is her challenge, I think, that she's facing. I can't really find a new chef in the middle of Croatia, in the middle of a charter season.
If he was a deckhand, they probably would just fire him because there's multiple of them.
Absolutely, but a chef's hard to find and a chef is hard to replace, and I think she's playing the long game here.
Yeah.
I think she's being very smart, and she did say multiple times that she wanted to fire him, but that's one of the things that I do like about Captain Sandy is that she is full of this grace for her team, and she's
so
gives them
patient. Although I do kind of see a little bit of sternness coming out when she's saying, there's anchors on every yacht, guys. Come on, what are you doing?
Yep, she is. She's awesome. I
love her.
Every episode that we get to see her more and more, I just fall a little more in love with her. I would really love to get to know her.
She seems great.
She seems awesome. And Adam did say that their relationship seemed to be better later on in the season when we had him on in the interview.
Yeah,
remember?
Seems like they smooth it out. Maybe. He didn't say specifically.
Yeah, but hopefully we'll get to see more of that. So then moving on, we have a night out on the town.
My favorite part, is that bad? That's my favorite part.
The nights out are your favorite part? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Just because I feel like that's when all the drama happens, and that's when they can really be themselves because they're not working. So that's when all the truth comes out.
Yeah, it is. Well, this night was a little different than other nights. Adam felt a little bit of the vibe was off, and I think a little bit it was because he felt put in his place. I think he was kind of like the dog with the tail between his legs, kind of coming to dinner a little sheepish, which he should have been.
Yeah.
But we have Malia and Wes flirting a little bit.
I felt like that's why maybe it was a combination of both, that and the whole day that he was feeling upset.
Absolutely, absolutely. So then, as a result of all of this, Adam chooses to leave the night. He leaves a little bit early, walks off into the middle of the night, and nobody seems to miss him except Malia, who then chooses to run off after him. How do we feel about Malia leaving the rest of the group and chasing after Adam? Do we think that was a good call on her part?
I feel like she wanted to be there for him, which was sweet, but I think it definitely shows that she's kind of on Team Adam right now, because if she was on Team Wes, she would have just stayed with him and flirted while Adam wasn't watching, because it's probably awkward when you're flirting with them and the other guy's watching.
Right.
So I think it was kind of like she wanted to spend the time with him, and so I felt really bad for Wes.
I did too, but I think the point that he made about Malia running off, his point was, if that's the guy that you want to go after the shenanigans that he just pulled on this charter, that's no girl for me.
I don't want to go that far because I do really like Adam, but it's kind of funny because I feel like she kind of might be trying to play them both. I don't know if she's doing it on purpose, but her actions definitely are keeping them both interested.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that's the thing. I mean, I don't need you to choose anybody this early in, but don't go so far with both.
Yeah.
I get, at least not on a boat. If you're in real life, if you're in New York City or LA and you're going to bump into this person the next time in like a month or a week or whatever, live your life. Date as many people as you want. But on a boat, does it really make sense?
Yeah, and their roommates.
And
coworkers. Yeah. So that makes it more awkward than if it's just, two guys that don't know each other.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have to fault her a little bit for that because, again, I like Malia a lot. I think she's a lot of fun, and clearly everybody likes Malia. But I think she is, I think she's as responsible as anybody else in this situation. And I don't know how I feel about her running off after Adam. I think it was a sweet gesture. Yeah. And if that's where her heart's leading her, then obviously why would she stay there with Wes? You know, she does seem to be a little bit more into Adam right now.
I'm surprised that she didn't go and kiss him that night. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember where they cut off the cameras. I mean,
kiss Adam?
Yeah, that.
Oh, I think we're getting there.
Oh, okay. They could next week, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I think because really all
they're alone, so why not?
They're alone on the boat. Everybody else is out partying. It's just the two of them. She's there to comfort him. I see a makeout sesh happening. Stat. Let's just hope that neither of them have onion breath, because wow, that could be a thing. Yeah, and the only thing that I just wish that Wes didn't feel so made a fool of.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's my whole contention with that. But moving on, we have Hannah and Bugs having a little contention at this dinner as well. So Hannah's buddied up with Lauren. She is being overly friendly, and she is giving Bugs the cold shoulder completely. And Bugs is wondering why. And as we learn, we hear Hannah kind of whispering in Lauren's ear that her head's gotten big ever since Adam made this comment. And do we think, have you seen any signs from Bugs of an ego?
I don't think so. I think she just feels like it's a weird situation because Hannah is almost blaming her that Adam said this, but it's not really Bugs' fault because she didn't do anything.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's a situation of not wrong place, wrong time, but she's just kind of, Bugs is sort of the kill the mess. I don't know what metaphor am I trying to find here?
The middleman.
I guess she's the man in the middle. She's being put into this contention that's between her and Adam, where she really is, all she's trying to do is just do her job.
Yeah, and also Hannah and Bugs had a great relationship before, so I think it makes it a little bit worse because it's not like they didn't like each other before. They actually did. So there's a lot of tension there.
Yeah, it's a little odd to see them at odds because they were working so well together. Yeah. So it's a little bit
And it seemed like they didn't really like Lauren before, honestly. So now that Hannah is becoming best friends with Lauren, it's different.
So what do we think Lauren's bringing to the table at
I
this
like
point?
her. I think she's cool, and I think she's genuine, and I really like genuine people.
Yeah.
So I think she kind of gets a bad rap for being so emotional, but some people are just emotional, and I think that's okay.
Absolutely. No, she definitely is on the emotional side of things, but she's growing on me. As Malia is growing off me, Lauren is growing on me. If I'm being 100% honest and transparent. But I don't know Malia very well. We're getting to know all of these people.
I mean, we're just going off of what we've seen on TV. It doesn't mean it's real.
Of course, we love you all, clearly, but we're just having to go through this, through the same emotions as America watching this show. So,
Sky Patterson on the live chat says,
Hi, Sky.
Hi. She says, Bugs is always put in the middle of things and that she's a sweetheart.
Bugs is always put in the middle of things. Do you think that's Bugs' fault, or do you think Bugs is just kind of, again, being shoved in the middle? Do you think she inserts herself, or is she...
I think she's just shoved in the middle. Especially because she's just one under Hannah, that it's not her fault.
Yep. I don't think so either. I think Bugs is rad.
Yeah, but from Hannah's point of view, it's awkward for Hannah because she's the one in charge. And so for someone to undermine your position like that in front of the person under you, it's very unprofessional and rude.
It is. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think Bugs is handling the situation really well. I mean, for me, she seems to be walking the fine line of how to be respectful of her chief stew, how to be her friend, how to deal with the drama of Adam, kind of throwing her in the middle of things. So it'll be interesting to see how this relationship continues, because I really liked the relationship that was happening between Hannah and Bugs. So
yeah.
I hope it gets repaired.
It's normal that Hannah feels defensive just because when your position and title is questioned, it's offensive.
Absolutely. And she's doing everything that she can right now to sort of combat the statement that Adam is making. You know, I mean, that's a big dig for somebody to say, like, well, somebody else should beat the chief stew because you suck at it. You know, she's been doing it for 7 years. She's clearly really great at her job. She's also not somebody that you want to mess with. So
I think it's more of a personality issue between Hannah and Adam. I think they just don't really get along, but I don't think it's that Hannah's not good at her job.
Yeah. No, gosh, no. Hannah's amazing. Hannah's awesome at her job. I think they're all actually really great at their job.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it again because I say it every episode. I love Max.
Okay, his commentary is awesome.
He's
and
the best.
He's so funny. He's like, well, good thing I have a girlfriend, so then I'm not in the race.
I know. I love it. He's like the comic relief that they like cut to.
Yes.
Anytime there's drama, it's like, cut to Max. He'll make you laugh. It's so awesome. I'm again, the biggest Max fan in the world. Max, please call in or come on and please chat with us because I'm the biggest super fan of Max right now.
He's so funny.
Let's get into a little bit of predictions of what we think might happen. We've seen
AFTERBUZZ TV.
my favorite.
It's hard to predict because we see all the previews, so I don't want to just copy what I've already seen on the previews.
Sure. Well, let's talk about the previews because we see the eligible bachelors that come on, the most eligible bachelor in Dallas, and we see some of the cougars that are a little bit interested in Bobby. We also see Hannah get a little bit maybe cozy with one of the guests.
Yes.
And then we see Adam and Malia locking lips.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the three predictions. How far can we take them?
Well, I remember the Danny thing last season, how Danny kissed the charter guest, and it was so much drama. So I wonder if it's going to be a similar situation because you're not supposed to mingle with the guests like that. It's supposed to be professional.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I've never heard Hannah say a comment like she said in the preview tonight, which is, you know, when I want to kiss somebody, I just go for it.
Yeah.
I was like, that seems so against her character as Chief Stew.
Yeah, especially because of the whole Danny situation last season. I feel like she wouldn't go there, and neither would Bobby.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was editing. Maybe she just thinks he's attractive, or maybe she's just like, whatever, I'm just gonna go for it.
I don't know. Either way, they sucked us in, and I can't wait to see it. Hannah girl, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. I want her to find some love though too. I want her to get some action because that girl, she is like She's working hard for her money. She's a ball buster. I'm ready to see her have a little bit of like fun and love
I do
life.
too, and I feel like it's kind of weird that we're not seeing any action for Hannah, Bugsy, or Lauren on the crew. It's just Malia, so I kind of want to see the other girls have some fun too.
Exactly. So that'll be a nice little break. Do we think Bobby's going to hook up with any of the Cougars?
I don't think he's going to, because I think it would make him slightly hypocritical with the Danny situation last season. So I feel like in the back of his mind he wouldn't, and also just because you're not supposed to, he probably isn't going to just go there.
I love it. He's going to get a little taste of Malia's medicine. Do you know what I mean? About like all these ladies coming after him. I think he's going to love that.
Yeah, and probably help the tip too, right?
That's right. Anything for the tip. And then, of course, Malia and Adam, we see them locking lips a little bit in next week's trailer. It looks like she's Team Adam right now, and
I think so.
I think to be honest, I'm a little, to use Adam's phrase, I'm a little emotionally taxed of this whole Malia Adam situation.
Yeah.
So I would like to see them settle into a relationship, if they're going to call that, and move on, and let's tell another story.
Yeah, I think it's good, but it is a little bit much, just because that's like half the episode was just their love triangle. So I would like to see some other action going on too. All sorts of action.
And who knows, maybe a cute girl will come on and Wes will break his charter guest rule.
I saw someone tweeted on Twitter that Wes should be the next Bachelor. So that's so cute.
Gosh.
I think a lot of girls like him.
He is adorable, and that accent for days, I'll take it. It's so good. Well, that is so exciting. I can't wait to see what happens. Miss Jamie, where can we find you?
You can find me at JamieBanks_ on Twitter and Instagram, and also on YouTube at Jamie Banks Travel.
That's right. Go check out all of her travel adventures. She just got back from Europe, and I'm sure she's got all kinds of fun things coming up for you guys. And of course, I'm Laura L. Thomas. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Laura L. Thomas TV. We hope to see you guys next week. Thanks so much for tuning into AfterBuzz TV. We'll catch you later. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.